You're watching CTOM TV. Knowledge is power.
There's one more question, I think, before we move on to our topic, the CML talk today. And it's, how do I get immunotherapy in Canada?
Well, you can pay for it yourself. PD1 inhibitors, there's a few of them around. I would definitely get a next generation PD1 inhibitor. The first generation PD1 inhibitor was nivolumab, and then pembrolizumab was the second generation.
Okay.
And definitely from the data we're seeing, pembrolizumab has a much better treatment profile.
Okay.
You have less side effects, and more patients respond to it and live longer on it.
All right. What was that first one you mentioned?
Nivolumab.
Nivolumab. Okay, so that's kind of the first one that came out.
Yeah, first generation.
It's evolved into pembrolizumab.
Pembrolizumab,
So if you're going to ask for one, ask for the pembrolizumab.
Yeah. And then you have the PD1L inhibitors. So both nivolumab and pembrolizumab target both the ligand, the PD-L1 ligand, and the receptor.
Okay.
So they interfere with the interaction between the two. Whereas the newer drugs are typically PD-L1 ligand inhibitors.
Okay.
And so they can work really well in certain situations, but how and where each drug is going to work best is really, there's a lot of research going on that right now.
Right. And again, you have to know the genetics and what's happening in your body in order to know where you need your target.
Right. So for now, I think the general consensus is that a drug like pembrolizumab that does target both the receptor and the ligand is a safe bet.
Okay, so how can I get immunotherapy in Canada? The answer is, first off, of course, ask your doctor, because some of these are available in public healthcare system. Depends on which province that you live in, and frankly, the hospital in which you're being treated.
And there's private facilities that Innomar offers it.
But that's the private pay. I'm saying if we start with, our goal is always to help you start with the stuff that's already covered, or things that are going to really benefit you, but aren't going to cost you a lot.
Right.
So certainly start by asking your doctor, since more and more of them are naturally prescribing this because of the benefits.
Totally.
Ask for that pembrolizumab as opposed to the first generation. And then, yes, worst case scenario, you can pay for a few shots of PD1 drugs. The pembrolizumab. Pembrolizumab. Thank you very much. We'll have a whole show one day on how they come up with these names, because it's really quite an interesting process.
Well, actually, that refers to the breakdown. The last part of the name, the lizumab and mumumab and so on, all refers to the individual components of the monoclonal antibodies.
Okay.
Whether it was humanized, or whether it was from a mouse, or whether it was
this one's from a lizard or something. Lizumab.
We'll
Just kidding. Not really. Okay. Yeah. It is interesting though to hear how they actually sit together and come up with these ideas for these drug names.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, you can get immunotherapy in Canada. Ask your doctor first, and then if that's a no-go, again, Alex and his team can often make a very convincing argument. And ultimately, there are private infusion centers like Innomar, where you can go and arrange to have this treatment dispensed to you. Okay.
Thank you for watching CTOM TV. Subscribe below and stay informed.